Hey man, what it is? This is Deem, and I am your host, and this is by any means. There go the Cash App, $ Deem by any means. There go the PayPal at Deem by any means. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. I don't care if you leave $1, $10, $1,000. It is much, much, much appreciated, y'all. Boots versus Karen. Great, great card. Trash fight, man. Let's talk about it, y'all. I know I've been MIA. I've been enjoying my life, man. The kid birthday was yesterday, man. So everybody that done sent birthday wishes and all that, I just want to say I appreciate y'all. Yo, man, we really about to be cooking. Dean gonna be back at it. How y'all know I do. We got so much to talk about, so expect a lot of heat on the way. Um, Jaron Ennis is fighting Karen Kuka Dodgets again for the second time, which was once a trash fight. The first time they fought, they getting forced to do it again, which is a trash fight. The second time they fighting, and it just goes to my bigger thing. See, I'm a different type fan than y'all. Y'all know how I feel about Jaron Ennis, but at the same time, I understand that he signed with Eddie because he wanted to stay busy and all that. The problem is about this boxing game, if you're taking busy fights and not big names, it's going to have the same effect as if you're just taking big names, but you're not fighting all the time. It's the same exact effect, unfortunately. Where you got to find that sweet spot in how Canelo and how Tank and how other people are able to continue to prosper in their career. David Benavidez, what you do is you make sure that you fight twice a year. Maybe not get that third, fourth fight in that you want, but you fight twice a year, but his names and his people that's a big enough recognition. Where it's still people might criticize your fights and all that, but even it's to the point where you're not putting on fights that your fans can't defend. I'm gonna say it again. You're not putting on fights that even your fans won't accept. And that's the difference right there, y'all, and the selling points and how a boxer grows his brand, y'all. Karen versus Boots is not nothing that I want to see. I'm not going to act like I don't like I do want to see it. Now, because Boots my guy and it's going to be in my hometown, I'm going to pay my money and I'm going to go see him. And I'm going to, just for the event, for the vibe, just to be somewhere, just to be there because the card actually is going to be pretty good. So Eddie Hearn and them did a good job as far as if I'm being logical, it's a B+ card. Like, yes, a lot of names on there, and then the guys that's not notable names is good fights to the casual, I mean the non-casual boxing fan that understand boxing, that the people that do come to see it gonna be highly entertained by those fights, even if they don't know who the people are. And as the fight card get closer, we're gonna talk more and more about who's on the card, who's fighting who, blah, 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 what I think about it, X, Y, Z. But I gotta talk about this. Eddie Hearn is showing again that he's good at talking smart, but not actually being it. He's felling Shakur Stevenson. He's felling devinhaney out there in the public. He's felling Jaron Ennis. He has just had three notable names. He has gotten signed. He has signed three of the biggest names in boxing. And whether they sell or don't sell, all that, I don't care about that. I'm talking about he has signed three of the more popular fighters in boxing. And he's doing absolutely nothing with them. He hasn't gotten none of them a big fight. That he didn't get Ryan he didn't get Devin that Ryan fight. Devin wasn't with Matchroom for that fight. He went over there to Golden Boy to fight Ryan Garcia. Eddie didn't make that happen. Devin could have made that happen with or without Eddie, like he did. And I think now, because he did that, Eddie Hearn is being petty towards devinhaney, where he got some logical points at some points, but for Devin to not be able to get tickets and all of this other stuff, like they shouldn't be having contention, is what I'm saying. And I know that Eddie Hearn scorched them. Devinhaney's mindset, thinking that he's overpriced and that he's worth more than what he's worth, and all of that. And he may have logical points. My thing is, it still don't change the fact that he's not showing that he can sign. You're signing fighters and having problems. You're not signing them and prospering. You don't hear Tank and PBC really going back and forth. All you heard with the most contention they had, Tank ain't like how they promoted the Frank Martin fight. And he was well within his rights for saying that because he don't say too much, because normally the PBC do what they gotta do as far as promotional and things of that ilk. So at the end of the day, man, I just feel like Jaron Boots Ennis' force is in a situation where everybody's ducking him. And I don't really care who he fights. So that's why I'm going to sit up there and still support my guy, because I know he's not fighting Karen because he wants to neither. I understand that part. So that's what I don't criticize. I'm not criticizing him as much. But what I will say is this: why I didn't want him signing with Eddie, though. And I can't act like I didn't see this coming as well, though. Like, I can't act like that neither, because then I'm doing y'all a disservice. Boots versus Karen too. Nobody really wants to see that, but it's going to be in the city. It's going to probably do pretty good numbers still. But at the end of the day, don't nobody really want to see that. Don't nobody want. That's just not a good fight, to be honest. I think it's either going to be very boring or Boots going to stop him. It's just either going to be. It's going to be either or. It's not. I don't see it being too much in between. Now, I'm not mad at Karen for sitting up there and making Boots give him his opportunity. That's why you're not going to hear me criticize Karen either, as far as when it comes to fighting Jaron Ennis and things like that. But at the end of the day, man, Eddie Hearn fumbling in the bag, man. And he just got so much to say about, because my thing is Eddie Hearn is big on selling himself and selling his brand, and saying that he can do better for you than other people if you decide to deal with him and not other people. The problem is, though, we looking at your results, though, Eddie, and your results is you're not getting it done the way that you sitting up there talking about you getting it done. You're not in position to be talking down on Oscar. You're not in position to be talking down on Bob Arum or Al Heyman, because you're not bringing nothing to the table that's more than what they're bringing to the table. If I'm being realistic, the best fights this year have been on PBC and Top Rank, as far as cards wise. That one card that the Riyadh season thing that they said was going to be the best card ever, it wasn't. That's actual reality. This Cardina fight with Shakur and all that was going to be trash. Boots' last two fights, he didn't even get to fight Crowley. He had to fight Avanesian. So Eddie might have one more fight with it. This is why Eddie didn't want to bid too much. And then to come to find out, it's still going to be on Matchroom in the zone. So it's just like, now Eddie in a position where he has to get Boots a major fight, his next fight, or you failed him as a promoter. You failed Jaron Ennis, you failed Shakur Stevenson, you failed Devin Haney. Devin Haney in a different position because Devin dropped his belt. So he gave Eddie an excuse of why he can't do certain stuff. And I'm mad at Devin that he did that. Like, y'all know I'm not a Devin fan, but I just didn't think that him dropping his belt, I knew that it would have dire consequences, because Devin Haney don't sell. So it's like, and then the money that he's going to expect, and then he doesn't even have leverage to really make fights happen and get sanctioning bodies. I mean, he's still a champion in recess. He can activate that. But then now you're going to have to go to purse bid, and it's just going to be a whole bunch of other things depending on how he go about that. And I just feel as though Eddie is letting down three of the more popular Black American fighters. That's going on, and this is why I don't think a lot of Black American fighters should sign with them. You better off staying over there at Top Rank. That's the unfortunate thing. Like, I don't see how being a Black American fighter, like, he's not doing nothing more that Bob Arum is doing. So if you got a problem with Bob Arum, I don't see how you don't have a problem with Eddie Hearn. You can't use Eddie Hearn as something to trash Bob Arum. And y'all know I don't like Bob Arum neither. There's no way you telling me, when I kept telling y'all Shakur Stevenson should go to the PBC, it's no way you telling me that Cordina is a better fight than him and Frank Martin at a catchweight, even if they fought, or him and Della Santos, or him and Gervonta Davis, or him or Pitbull Cruz, or him or a bunch of other PBC fighters that he could have fought that would have been better fighters. Because I mean, Shakur didn't even get Mark Chamberlain. Like, you see, he's not even getting Andy Cruz, other fighters that's over there. So it's like, what is you with Eddie for? Like, you left one promotional company to go with him to make sure that you're getting big fights, bro. And I just think it's cap. I don't think Eddie paying them so much more than Bob paying them and all of that. I just think all of that is cap, bro. That's just me. I could be wrong about that, but I just feel as though all of that is cat, man. So we gonna really see, man. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be in the building. I'm gonna go out there for the fight, the whole nine. But Jaron Ennis versus Karen Cougar Dodgers, man, I just don't think that that's a good fight. I just don't think that that's. I think it's a trash fight, and I just gotta say how I feel. I don't care if Boots my man's. That's my guy. I just don't like the fight. The problem is I can't crucify him too much for it because I understand the situation he in, and he's the most duck fighter in boxing besides Gervontadavis right now. It just is what it is. So y'all already know what this is, right? Dean, by, any means, and I holla at y'all.